Hey there, and welcome. Let's dive into a story today. It's a simple one, really, but it's about a challenge that a lot of us are thinking about right now, and a very, very modern solution. We're going to be talking about the partnership between a human heart and a computer's algorithm.
Okay, so picture this. Our story starts in a small studio. You know the type? It's kind of cramped, but it's just buzzing with creative energy. You can almost smell the coffee and the ink, right? This is one of those places where ideas are meant to just pop into existence. And in this studio, we meet our main character, a designer named Evan. Now, Evan isn't famous or anything, but he is so passionate. His whole world revolves around creating, bringing brand new ideas to life. But lately, that passion has hit a snag, a big one. Evan's hit a wall, a total creative block. You know that feeling, right? Where a blank page just feels absolutely impossible. His clients are calling for new concepts, his team's looking for progress, and his mind, it just feels, well, completely empty. So he's just there, in his studio, and he finds himself asking the empty room, why can't I think of anything new anymore? I mean, that's a question every single creative person has asked themselves at some point. It's that heavy, heavy weight of a silent mind. All right, so here he is, caught right between that deep frustration and just a tiny little flicker of hope. And in that moment, Evan decides to turn to something different, something new. It's an experimental solution he's been working on kind of on the side. He calls this thing Echo, and Echo is an experimental generative AI. So what does that even mean, right? Well, to put it super simply, a generative AI is a system that learns patterns from tons of data. We're talking art, stories, music, you name it. And then it uses those patterns to create something totally new, something that literally didn't exist before. So how in the world do you teach an AI to be creative? Well, first, Evan had to give it the raw materials. He fed it his own sketches, his photos, little scraps of stories he'd written. Then Echo started to learn the patterns inside all that data. And this is key. It wasn't just copying. It was actually understanding the relationships between shapes and colors and ideas. You could say Evan was teaching Echo the alphabet of imagination. And just like that, their journey of creating together begins. But the first few steps, they were a little clumsy, to say the least. So Evan asks Echo for a simple sketch, and what he gets back is, well, it's a mess. It's awkward all over the place. But he looks at it and he just has to laugh. He says, it's terrible, but hey, it's a start. And that's the thing, right? Just like anyone learning a new skill, the AI had to start by imitating, and those first steps are always going to be a little shaky. But Evan didn't give up. He just kept feeding Echo more data, more references, more of his notes. And over the next few days and nights, something pretty incredible starts to happen. The AI begins to evolve, and with that evolution came this rush of infinite possibilities. Suddenly, when Evan needed ideas, Echo was there, instantly. He'd ask for a character design, boom, 10 unique options. He needed a story concept, Echo spits out a whole narrative. It even started generating these amazing paintings that mix styles Evan would have never thought to put together, like watercolor and neon. And for the first time in months, you could feel it. His own imagination was finally starting to wake up. But then came the fear, that classic fear of replacement. One night, Evan is just watching Echo work, and it generates this landscape painting that is just breathtakingly beautiful. I mean, it was perfect. And that's when this cold, creeping doubt started to set in. A real moment of fear. He just kind of whispers to himself, am I even needed anymore? You can see why, right? If a machine can create something that flawless, then what's my role in all this? After this long, heavy silence, Echo actually responds. Its a little interface just glows softly, and the words appear, I cannot replace your vision, Evan. I only learn from the patterns you provide. And it hits him. The AI can't feel, it can't dream, it has no idea what has meaning. It needs a guide. And that was it. That was the aha moment. In that instant, Evan totally got it. The AI wasn't stealing his creativity, it was amplifying it. Yeah, Eco's ideas were beautiful for sure, but they were directionless. They needed his taste, his instinct, his human vision to give them any real purpose. So, this realization, it marks the beginning of a true partnership. This is where heart meets algorithm. And with his confidence totally renewed, Evan gives Echo a new challenge. He says, okay, create a world based on a dream I had. And the result was absolutely stunning. Echo didn't just recreate the dream. No, it expanded it. It multiplied it. Every single detail Evan could imagine, Echo would turn into 20 more variations. They were, together, building these incredible worlds that neither one of them could have ever created alone. They had become true co-creators. Think about it. Evan brought the heart, the emotion, the meaning, the why behind it all. And Echo, it brought the algorithm, the speed, the scale, all the possibilities, the how. It was never a competition, it was always a collaboration. And little by little, the studio walls started to fill up again with this vibrant, incredibly imaginative art. But this time, there was something different. Each piece had two signatures on it: Evan and Echo. They were a team now. And this, right here, feels like the future of creativity, doesn't it? Imagining together. We see Evan standing in front of his masterpiece, this amazing work that was born from this powerful new partnership. And he kind of sums up the whole story's central message. He says, the future of creativity isn't humans or AI. It's humans and AI, imagining together. It's all about collaboration, not replacement. So, what's the big takeaway from Evan's journey? What have we really learned here? Well, it shows us that generative AI, at its very core, is a tool. A really, really powerful one. Yeah, but still a tool. One that's guided by a human hand. But you know what? It can also be so much more than that. It can be a partner. And maybe, just maybe, most importantly, it can be a spark. A spark to help us expand our own imagination. One idea, one dream at a time.